3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Monroe Mann here, YouTube #1 live streamer, coming back with another edition of Rose Reads. Today we're doing part 2 of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Manson. And as always, I've got my trusty notes here that I took from reading the book, and I share those with you and use them as jumping off points for discussion. Eventually, I'm going to be uploading these notes to my YouTube store. I haven't done it yet. I know I said I was going to do it before, and shame on me because I didn't do it. And I apologize to all of you that I did not do that. Elijah, for the first time, you're first, and you're actually correct when you say first. Good to see you, Elijah. Nice to have you in the house. So, continuing with this book, here's the latest next note. Problems never go away. They just become better, more interesting, and more worthwhile problems. Interesting. So your problems will never go away. I once heard that there's no way to escape the problems that you have in life. But the problem is if the problems you have this year are the same problems that you had last year. How you doing, Flora? Great to see you, Elijah. Thank you guys for the likes. And just remember that, how do you know if you're going forward with your life? If the problems you have this year are different from the problems that you had last year. And so it's just a simple way to just look back on your life and go, you know what? Are the problems I'm dealing with right now in 2025 the same problems I was dealing with in 2024? If so, that's a big head up that there's a problem, because you ideally want to have new problems. That's why he's saying here, your problems never go away. They just become better, more interesting, and more worthwhile problems. But this is assuming that you're doing what I said right there, is that you're progressing forward with your life and you're pushing. Good morning, Flora, or good evening, Flora. And Walnuts of Pleasure, hello. Hey there, mister. Great to see you too. All right, the next note. The solution to one problem is always merely the creation of the next one. That's interesting too, right? So you're going to solve a problem, and you're going to be so grateful. Oh my gosh, I finally solved this problem. All you've done is set the stage for the next problem to show its head. And I find that very interesting, and it reminds me back to Buddhism, the idea that life is a struggle. All of life is struggle. And whether we succeed in life is how we look at that struggle that we deal with every single day. And the Buddhists will say, your struggle is coming from your attachment to things and your attachment to the way that things should supposedly work out in your life. And here he's saying, again, the solution to one problem is always merely the creation of the next one. That's my mom calling me. She just left here about 2 minutes ago and said goodnight, and then she calls. And I'll read again what the quote says. The solution to one problem is always merely the creation of the next one. So I said goodnight to my mom. She gets back to her apartment. She calls me. But I'm not picking up because I'm doing a live stream. If she calls again, maybe I'll pick up. For those of you who are new, my name is Monroe Mann, Dr. Monroe Mann. I have a PhD in psychology. We're doing something called Rose Reads, where I read a book, I take notes, and I share and discuss those notes with you. So the book that we're doing now is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Manson. He writes, don't hope for a life without problems. There's no such thing. Instead, hope for a full life full of good problems. Remember, you probably heard that expression, that's a good problem to have. Such as if all of a sudden you got $5 million and it just shows up in your bank account. That's a good problem to have. It's a problem because you go, what the heck do I do with it? How do I make sure I invested properly? How do I make sure my friends don't start begging me for money? Blah, 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 blah. Again, the solution to one problem is always merely the creation of a new one. So embrace the fact that you have troubles. Today I had so many things, so many problems. I had a million problems today. And I'm reading this and going, just get used to it. Just embrace it. Just accept it. You're going to have problems, Monroe. And don't let those problems overtake you. Don't let those problems become your primary focus. There are far more things to worry about and focus on than your problems. Don't focus on your problems. How you doing, Whaley Bama? Yeah, Flora says ups and downs. Monroe, keep going. That's right. That's all we got in life are ups and downs. We just got to keep pushing through. Hey, what's up, Miss T? She says, cool, I love this idea. Book reading, then getting your opinion. No, money in your account and you don't know why is disturbing to me. That's what I'm saying. It's a if you don't know why, let's just say let you know why. You know why. But yeah, that would be weird if all of a sudden there's $5 million in your bank account. Something's wrong there. Something's fishy. Good evening, Walal. Great to see you. By the way, Miss T, you guys can find a playlist called Rose Reads. And the last book we did was The Psychology of Money. Now we're doing this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep. And you can just catch up on all those old ones as well. We went from 23 people to 2 people. Come on, that's harsh. That's pretty harsh. But like you said, you're never going to get rid of problems. And that's it. There's the problem. I got 2 people watching me right now. All right, next. It says happiness comes from, what do you think? Happiness comes from solving problems. Your happiness is going to come from solving problems. That's interesting. I would also say relief comes from solving problems. But you do feel good after you've solved a problem. You're, oh. And the truth is, a life with no problems is quite boring. quite boring. Flora says, Monroe, I believe life is so simple. People are the problem. Interesting, Flora. Well, that's interesting. That's wise. Those are some wise words. Next up, we have, to be happy, we need something to solve. Right now, I have a runny nose. I still have a little bit of a runny nose from my sickness. So that's the problem that I'm going to solve right now. I'm going to put this up here. And I'm going to take my allergy relief. It says happiness comes from having something to solve. And I think that's fascinating because what do we all need? We all need objectives in life. We all need a reason to push forward. We all need a reason to get up in the morning. And if you don't have any problem, you have no motivation. And you think about it, problems can be good too. I have a problem now trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. It's not a problem, but it is. It's like a problem. Just like at math, you have math problems. The problem itself the math problem is not a bad thing. It's just there's a problem there and you need to find a solution. And so that's what he's talking about. And you feel good. Whenever you do a math problem and you get the answer right, you feel good. You're like, awesome, this is fantastic. I just got my midterm results back from my physics exam. 67. I did really poorly, but I was looking at some of the other students, talking to them, and a lot of them got zeros. So the fact that I got 67%. I think I'm in the middle top of the class because it was hard. But that's a problem. Now my thing is like, can I still get a B in the class? What do I need to do? Right now, being in the middle of the problem, being in the middle of this physics class, it's pretty annoying. I'm not enjoying the class at all. No one in the class is enjoying the class. But there's only 5 more weeks of the class, and it's done. 6 more weeks. When I'm done, meaning I've solved the problem and I've got a C, at least I'm that's my mission, is to get a C in the class at the bare minimum. Well, that's going to be a great feeling. That's going to make you feel really good, make me feel good, because what did he say here? Mark Manson says in his book, happiness comes from solving problems. Mathematics says, would you consider playing your head like a bongo drum on live? Super chat me $20 and I will bongo my head as much as you like. Dominique, how are you? Yeah, it's a good book. We've got some good lessons in it, and we're going to keep going. The next note that I took: true happiness occurs only when you find the problems you enjoy having and enjoy solving. True happiness occurs only when you find the problems you enjoy having and enjoy solving. So there's the key. There are good problems and there are bad problems. Something that I was thinking about today, 2 things happened that really annoyed me. One thing is my landlord just came to the veranda outside my apartment and they took my table and chairs and threw them outside in the alley. And in so doing, they broke one of the chairs. I'm like, what the heck? What is wrong with you people? Claiming it's a fire hazard when it's not. I grabbed it. I grabbed the one chair that was not broken and the table. I brought it back and I put it back up there. But it's really annoying me and it's frustrating me. But I'm realizing a problem only frustrates you if you allow it to. And throughout the day, this has been bothering me, going, these people are annoying. I can't believe it. They broke a thing. Each of one of those tables cost about $45. And I mean, one of the chairs, and they broke them. And why did they do this? But I thought, Monroe, chill out. It's a table and 2 chairs. You were able to save the table and one of the chairs. And big whoop-de-doo. It's just a table and chairs. It's like altogether $200. I could get a replacement chair from IKEA. And as soon as I recognized that, I said, Monroe, why are you letting them ruin your day? Why are you letting this problem overtake you? And I kind of chilled. You would think me getting a 67 on the midterm would really concern me. But in my biology 2 midterm, I got a 47 out of 100. And I was so stressed. And then I ended up in the class, I got a B. And so again, a lot of things we stress about, we don't need to stress about them. We're creating problems for ourselves. And like Miss T just said, exactly, relax, baby. We need to relax and don't let problems create stress in your life. You control your thoughts. And it's been proven that your emotions originate always in a thought that came prior. So control your thoughts better, and you're not going to allow these problems to overtake you. Miss T says, high school basketball games are amazing. The young talent, the coaching is to be there for the best of the best. Good. Flora says, it's so weird. I had a down day, and here it's Monroe actually talking about a problem. Thank you. You're very welcome, Flora. I'm glad someone's benefiting from this, and that's the whole point of why I'm trying to do this, why I do these YouTube live streams is, I mean, I've been feeling really, and I had another problem today that was driving me crazy. What was the other problem that upset me today? I don't remember. I don't know. There were 3 problems that, and you know what's nice? I can't even remember what these 2 other problems were, which just shows you that they're not really problems. I don't have to worry about it because I can't even remember the problem right now. Most of our problems are not really problems. They're just figments of our imagination because we put more emphasis on their importance than we really should. All right, moving on. If you feel crappy, it's because your brain is telling you that there's a problem that's unaddressed or unresolved. Negative emotions are a call to action. I'll read it again. If you feel crappy, it's because your brain is telling you that there's a problem that's unaddressed or unresolved. Negative emotions are a call to action. So, Flora, if you are having a down day and you're having negative emotions, it's a call to action. Figure out what is it that you are being asked to do. What is your brain telling you is out of alignment that needs to be addressed? And Miss T says, exactly, problems are not targeted to us. It's called life. Life, as you know, as the band REM sings that song, life, it's bigger, bigger than you, and you are not me. Life is bigger than us. It's like life doesn't have an agenda to try to bring misery upon you or bring misery upon me. It is what it is. There's another famous quotation. Things work out best for the person who makes the best out of the way things work out. Meaning, no matter what happens to you, make the best of it. Turn it around. Find the silver lining. Figure out a way to turn lemons into lemonade. Moving on. An obsession and overinvestment in emotion fails us for the simple reason that emotions never last. That's a good one. Listen to this. An obsession and overinvestment in emotion fails us for the simple reason that emotions never last. No, just the fact that I've had a range of emotions today. I woke up feeling fine. I was feeling a little low. In the late morning, in the afternoon, I was feeling fine. Then they took away my chair and table and threw it out. Got me really angry. Put me in a real sour mood. Then my mom came over. We watched a TV show that made me feel better. Came here. I decided to do a live stream. I was excited. After 3 minutes, there were 25 people here, feeling good. Then 4 minutes later, went down to 2 people. Now it's back up to 5. I mean, the range of emotions are crazy. But an obsession and overinvestment in emotion fails us for the simple reason that emotions never last. We just need to wait. No matter how you feel, the emotion is going to pass you by. I have learned that the worst time to make any decision is when you're in a fit of emotion. I've made a number of bad decisions in my life because I let emotions overtake my rational self, and I made a decision under this emotional stress. And I believe I've learned the lesson, which is when you're under a lot of emotion, don't make big decisions. Just punt it. Don't ignore them. Respond to the email. Tell somebody, hey, I haven't forgotten. I'll talk about it. But don't make a decision when you are feeling low. Miss T says, wait, so feelings never last. They don't. I think anyone, this is why the issue is like when you are married, you have to make, like they say that you have to regularly create freshness in the relationship, like have a date night, like every Friday night or something like that. And or make sure you go on vacations together, do things together, because you always have to rekindle the emotions. It's not, the feelings you have for somebody after being with that person for 5 years is not the same as after 5 days. So even positive feelings never last, which is why you need to take that advice and recognize that you need to apply strategies that are going to keep things moving forward regardless of the emotions that you're currently feeling. If you start a business, like for example, this YouTube thing, I was so excited about it back in the summer and I was getting watch time And then when it got monetized and I got the first super chat, but after a while, it does get boring. Everything just becomes a job. And I have to keep injecting enthusiasm into this, especially hard to keep the enthusiasm when you've got, all right, we're timing out Mini Jim. He's being really annoying. Well, we'll remove his message there for now. And I'll remove the other one from Mini Jim. Okay, there we go. Please just keep the comments to something relevant, at least, to something that I'm talking about. We don't care about, you love big women. All right, moving on. Next, again, my name is Monroe Mann. Welcome to Rose Reads. We're talking about the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. The next note, and I have some notes here. A fixation on happiness inevitably amounts to a never-ending pursuit of something else. A new house, a new relationship, another child, another pay raise, etc. This hedonic treadmill. We're always working to change our life situation, but we actually never feel any different. Again, so we shouldn't be fixated on being happy because it's just going to keep pushing. You're going to pursue more and more and more and more. And which is why they always say that happiness needs to be within you. The happiness cannot be based on your external circumstances. I'm a student of this as well, and I struggle. And I'm chasing happiness, and I want to feel better about my life and this and that. And, I thought that moving from New York to Florida would change. Your problems move with you. Except if the mob is, well, I guess even if the mob has a hit out on you, those problems will move with you too, and they'll find you wherever you're living. The point being is, sometimes you shouldn't run from your problems. You do have to confront them because we've been talking about problems. You have to find a solution. You're going to feel better when you find a solution to that problem. And there's an expression, the grass is always greener. Again, I moved to Florida thinking my problems are that I'm living in New York. My problem is the cold weather. Well, I live in Florida. Now it's hot, and that's driving me crazy. I miss New York. I don't get along with the people here in Florida. They're not my people. And I've learned, wow, you're not going to be able to find a solution by running away. So now I'm trying to figure out, what do I do? Do I stay here in Miami Beach? Do I stay in Florida but to go to a different city? Or do I move back to New York? Or do I find a way to move overseas? Do not know. Next, we like the idea that we can feel fulfilled and satisfied with our lives forever, but we cannot. I'm a Christian, and I believe in God and Jesus Christ and all that. But honestly, I even feel like even that's not enough. I mean, psychology is not enough. Medication is not enough. Exercise is not enough. Friends are not enough. Money is not enough. Nothing is enough. Now, this is again why some of the most happiest people are the ones who have the fewest things, the fewest attachments to people, the fewest attachments to things. And that's something you should think about. I try to have as little as possible because I don't believe in living a completely minimalist life, but I certainly don't believe in living in excess. Not at all. Mathematics wants to say, we got some comments here. It's my brother Monroe. I'm actually a happy person. It's been difficult with your parents. Not used to this, find a way how to deal with it. Come onto a live stream with me, chill out for a little bit, go take a walk. I understand. Mathematics, would you consider eating cornflakes with pineapple juice on live? Mathematics, I consider any of these things, but you gotta super chat me. I'm not doing anything without a super chat, and I know you're not going to be giving me one. So, Minnie says Monroe is a sexy beast and deserves to be worshipped like the Greek god that he is. Now, you see, now we're talking. Minnie Jim, see now, now those are relevant comments. It's risque, maybe a little bit inappropriate, but at least it's relevant to the discussion. So thank you. Miss T says, how many times a week should we confront our problems? I think we could write a whole book on that. I don't have a hard and fast answer to that. But I would say this is, sometimes you need a break from your problems, so you do need to go get away. But the longer you run from the problems without confronting it, the more it's just going to fester and grow. And an issue that I have, because I hate confrontation, and this is why I don't like being a litigation attorney. Some people like that. I don't like that at all. I have a problem when I get an email from somebody and it seems like it's negative, or I can feel like the tone is bad. It takes me a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy in me and strength and courage to open that email or text message, because I know how easily things can drag down my mood. And so when I see something that's negative, it's like, oh my gosh. And so honestly, sometimes I just don't even open the email, or I don't open the text for a period of time. But then I realize, Monroe, the longer you wait, the more you're putting yourself through self-inflicted pain by avoiding the issue. More importantly, I'd say 2 times out of 3, when I read the email or I read the text, it's not nearly as bad as I think it is. And so that's a great lesson, is that sometimes we overinflate hi Jamie, YouTube's #1 live streamer. Thank you. See, I was talking things that were negative and Jamie gave me a super chat and cheered me up. She cheered me up a lot. I'll tell you this, super chats get me out of bad moods very quickly. I just want you to know. So Jamie, you just gave me a big serotonin burst that makes me feel fantastic. Let's get you on the super board. You know, it's so nice when a super chat comes in and I'm in the middle of a really intellectual discussion. #1 live streamer. Because you guys get the vibe that I like doing this. It's fun. I like sharing my opinions, sharing my education, my insight, my philosophy. And so I just love it. And when I get in that zone, that flow state, and then someone super chats me, it like gets me out of the zone, but in a good way. And I go, oh my gosh, I was just talking and someone just gave me money. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So thank you very much, Jamie, for your support. It means a great deal to me. And so, Miss T, to answer your question, I think you should confront your problems as often as possible in order to solve them as quickly as you can. Which reminds me, I need to write something down that I need to do. Do I have it here? Let me, because it's driving me crazy. It's with one of our tenants, and I have to figure out, the lease is due. The lease renewal is in 2 months. Everything's going crazy with inflation. I'm trying to figure out, the taxes went up, the mortgage payment went up because of the insurance rates that have gone up in Florida because of the flooding. It's a lot of craziness. And I calculated how much the rent had to go up in order for my mom to still make the same amount of money. And the tenant said, I can't pay that. And so now I'm in a really tough situation, a problem, because this is the art of being a landlord, or particularly if you're a mom and pop landlord, or mom and son landlord team. When you have a good tenant, it's a great thing, and the money's coming in and pays for the mortgage and all that. But if one of them leaves, it's going to take me 1 or 2 months to find a new tenant, and that's going to be a problem because we need to now pay the mortgage, pay the homeowners association fee, all that stuff by ourselves without the tenant. So I'm trying to figure out, is it going to cost, are we going to lose more money by not increasing the rent by the amount that we want, or will we lose more money by saying, well, take it or leave it, and we end up losing her, and we have to do 2 months with a vacancy. So it's a problem. And Miss T, your question just reminded me, I need to solve that problem today, because whenever that problem comes back into my head, it gets me very stressed and feels very awkward. What's up, Manbird? What's up, Ad Creator? No, you can't have mod now. Hi, Mad Lawton. Miss T says, yes, I wait till I'm in a mood to be good or handle at the time. Yeah, I'll tell you this. Miss T, that's a good strategy. You do not want to, if you're in a bad mood, you do not want to open an email or a text message or handle a problem that's going to put you in an even worse mood. Except if you know that you can definitely solve the problem. Because whenever you solve a problem, what did he say earlier? He said, happiness comes from solving problems. To be happy, we need something to solve. So think about that, is if you have a problem and it's stressing you out, if you can solve it, do it as soon as possible, because it's going to make you feel so much better. I hate that I can't snap with my left hand, but I can snap with my right hand. I want to ask a question here. Can you snap your fingers? No. Yes, both hands. Can you put fingers and make a sound? That's the real question. Left hand only and right hand only. So on this poll, my answer would be right hand only. I can only do the right hand. Okay. The question here, this is another note from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. The question, what pain are you willing to endure to get where you want to go? What pain are you willing to endure to get where you want to go? This thing says 0 people watching right now. So I'm clearly willing to put myself through a lot of pain, because it is not a good feeling to see 0 people watching me at the moment. 0 people. Not cool. Jamie says, I like it when you smile and you were not. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. Manbird says, I look like Hank Azaria. Thank you. Sometimes you wait for the best deal. Waiting for this is the best deal, says Miss T. I don't know what, if you're referring to something that we're talking about now or something else. Jamie says, I'm here. The Manbird says, I'm watching. It says 0 people. Tonight's a tough night. What time is it? It's 8:15. There should be at least like 30, 40 people in here. I don't know what that's going. Endure means to withstand, to suffer. To endure pain means to get through the pain. So he's saying here is, what pain are you willing to endure to get where you want to go? How much pain are you willing to put up with to get where you want to go? 18 years of me being a YouTuber before I got up monetized. How many more years am I going to endure the pain until I'm getting $5,000 a month from this? I have no idea. I don't even know if it'll ever happen. Will it ever happen? I don't know. It's already March 6th, and I'm hoping it's not, but it's shaping up to be. Last month I made $240. So far it's shaping up to be even less than that. Talk about pain. Every single month I've been a live streamer, it's been less money every single month. even though I have more and more subscribers. That's a lot of pain. That's a lot of frustration. That is a lot of madness. That is madness. All of you can snap with both fingers, both hands. Well, la-ti-da, you fancy people. Miss T says, why do I have to go through pain? That's the only way. You have to understand what pain means. It just means feelings of being uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be excruciating. It doesn't have to be mental pain. But, I mean, like this, if you want to have a job, you have to work with people you don't like sometimes. And most people are able to do that. And you put up with, you endure the pain of working with some of these other people in your company because you really want that paycheck. That's all that means. Happy early birthday, Manbird. All right, next we have happiness requires struggle. And that happiness grows from problems. In other words, you need to be struggling in order to find happiness. It's very strange. But another way of looking at that, if that doesn't make sense to you, there are a lot of expressions. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Or you don't appreciate those things that you didn't have to fight to earn. If you earned $1 million because of your job, you would probably invest that a lot more carefully than if you just won $1 million tomorrow. If you won $1 million tomorrow, you would just spend that money willy-nilly. You might still invest it. I mean, I know I would invest it, but because you didn't have to work hard, you didn't have to struggle to earn that $1 million, you don't really care if you squander it. You don't care if you lose it because you didn't have to work. But if you had to work really hard to make that $1 million, woo, you're gonna probably spend it a heck of a lot more wisely. And Miss T says, you learn to do, not pain in my definition. Hey, no one has to agree with me or Mark Manson or anybody, just sharing, getting us thinking in a different perspective. Jamie would like to test that theory. I would like to test that theory too. I think I would do a pretty good job of managing that. Manbird, you would not invest? Well, what would you do with the money then? Because here's the thing, you're investing in something. You're always investing in something. If you say I would not invest, I would just spend it, well, then you're investing it in your short-term happiness by giving you an adrenaline rush from buying new fancy things. Or the Manbird says charity. That's fine. But you're still investing. You're investing in feeling good by giving away the $1 million to charity. You're investing in the charities in which you are giving the money and hoping that they will use that money in the best way possible to help further their mission. Jamie says, you'd have the lumpiest mattress you ever... Wait, isn't a lumpy mattress bad? Lumpy means like there are little splotches of lumpiness all around. Or are you talking about an evenly lumpy bed? That's a different story. Okay, next note. The solution to problems lies in the acceptance and active engagement of that negative experience, not the avoidance of it. The solution to problems lies in the acceptance and active engagement of that negative experience, not avoidance of it. Oh, you'd have a lumpy mattress full of money. So you and Flora are exactly the same. I think Flora would probably have a similar situation. I need to take 2 Motrin. I got a little bit of a headache. I got a headache because I only have 6 people here today. Oh, it's like we're having a little coffee together at the local coffee shop, rather than me giving a big speech to 30 to 40 or 400 people. Let's take 2 of these. If you're wondering what I just took, it's 2 Motrin, ibuprofen. Painkiller, fever reducer, headache stomper. Miss T says, get deep in yourself. What's up, Nico? How are you? Manbert, I do not know what cap means. I do not. Except there's a cap. There it is. That's what it means. It's a cap. In fact, I'll put some of this on me right now. Why not? Why not? Got to keep my lips properly lubricated. All right, next note from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. To be a successful entrepreneur, you need to accept the uncertainty, the repeated failures, and the insane hours devoted to something that may earn absolutely nothing. I wish that were not me, but it's me. Ever since I graduated college, all I've been doing is accepting the uncertainty, the repeated failures, and the insane hours devoted to something that, in most cases, has earned absolutely nothing. And I'm doing it right now. Doing it with YouTube. I'm doing it with my company, Break Diving. I am hoping that one of my companies finally takes off and is a big success story. But I can't live any other way. I either succeed or I'm going to die trying. And many times I think of myself as when I was in my 20s and 30s, I never thought myself a fool. In my 40s, I'm starting to wonder, am I a fool by pushing so hard? I could be making so much money if I just got a normal job and sucked it up and gave up my dreams, but I can't do it. I can't give up my dreams. And you could argue it's a good habit. You could argue it's a bad habit. It's a bad habit if I turn 50 in 3 years and one of my companies has not taken off, I'm going to be mighty, mighty upset. But if at 52 years old, one of them finally takes off like a rocket and I'm making $300,000-$400,000 a year, I'm like, yeah, pretty awesome. Let me see the more comments. The Manbert says, where in the world did you hear of this book? I think I saw it at the bookstore and I just bought it. Manbert says, dying trying is not a good way of living. Sure it is. It means you're pushing forward towards a noble ideal. I would rather, there's an expression, another way of saying that, dying trying, the other way of saying that is, it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. And nobody can deny that I am living on my 2 feet. Monroe Mann will not be dying on his knees. He might die broke. He might die a total unknown. Only a few people know who he is, but he's gonna die trying. It's a motivational thing. It's not a negative thing. I don't want to die trying, but I guess I do. Even if, let's just say my YouTube channel gets to 1 million subscribers and I'm making $10,000 a month, I still want to die trying. I want to die trying to improve the YouTube channel even more, help even more people through break diving, and maybe help. I really want to at some point when I can get through this myself, help people who are caring for their elderly parents, or children who have medical issues. It is exhausting. It is so tiring. And anyone who's been through it knows exactly what I'm talking about. I want to die trying helping some of those people because I think the world does a terrible job, at least in the United States, of helping families take care of their elderly relatives, which is unfortunate. Flora says, don't be afraid of the storm. Every drop of rain will help you grow and become stronger. Good. Miss T says, you are your own successful story. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. What's up, Lorenzo? Hey, Monroe, leaving some love here. Hope you continue doing the skydiving. Thank you, Lorenzo. Are you a skydiver? Did we meet at Clewiston? I'm wondering why you mentioned skydiving. Manbird says it's better to be safe than risky. It's better to be safe than risky with the money that you need to pay your rent and buy food. But it's okay to be risky with money that is specifically allocated for risky investments. Even Jim Cramer says 95% of your money should be invested in investments that are not going to lose value. But 5%, put that in something that's a crazy, crazy, silly moonshot, as they call it. Because you're likely to lose all of that 5%. But if you win, you're going to win super, super big. And Minnie, I don't play pickleball. I like to play badminton, but haven't played that in years either. All right, moving on. Next one. The path to happiness is a path full of, think of the word that means poop but starts with an S. The path to happiness is a path full of and shame. Blank and shame. Meaning, reading that, I'm going, what the heck is he talking about? But all I'm thinking is that you've got to go through a lot of struggle and heartache. And you also have to, if you're making a great effort to find happiness in your life, you're going to make some decisions that you're going to regret. And I think that's where he's talking about the shame, but I'm not exactly sure. Next, you cannot have a pain-free life. So Miss T was talking about pain before. And that's the truth. You can't have a pain-free life. I mean, that's a wild thing, because I was thinking about, I think about pain a lot, because I experience a lot of all types of pain. Financial pain, emotional pain, psychological pain, memory pain, like the pain of regret, or the pain of what we once had, physical pain, my back, my knees. Pain is part of life. It's such a strange thing, but why is there pain? Well, we wouldn't know what pleasure is if we didn't have pain. Massages would not feel great if we had no back pain. Let me do a poll here, because I'm very curious. I love massages. Do you like massages? No, sort of. I won't say no. And yes, as often as I can. I'm the last one, as often as I can, because I got pain all over this body. This body needs lots of massage. Miss T says, my mom went to assisted living. I believe it's my job for all positiveness, even though it hurts with emotions. Yeah, I don't know if and when my mom needs to go into assisted living. I don't really want her to. I like the fact that she lives quite close by here and that, but at the same time, at some point I have to try to figure out what will be best for her. I don't know. Flora says, if you can make someone feel great about themselves, do it. The world needs more of that beautifulness. Well, wise words, Flora. Absolutely. Lorenzo says, I met you while I was having dinner with my wife in Miami Beach. You told us about skydiving and your legal work. Lorenzo, was it at that Italian restaurant on Alton Road? Is that the Lorenzo I'm talking about? And I believe you are in the financial services industry? If so, that would be crazy if that's the same Lorenzo. And if so, Lorenzo, I'm waiting for you to come skydiving with me. You and your wife need to come skydiving. I went 3 weeks ago, and I'm going to go again sometime in either March or in April. Manbird, I appreciate that. I don't need your criticisms, though. Don't tell me to give up on my dream. I'm actually deleting that message. I'm not going to time you out or anything like that. I'm telling you everything about why I pursue my dreams and why I continue with YouTube and why, and then you're telling me give it up? Dude, you lost your chance to be a guest on my show. Because that type of negativity is not the type of negativity I'm going to invite to be a guest. So you lost your chance. Sorry. Jamie says, why do you keep skipping my comments? What are your comments, Jamie? Let me see. The last comment was I'd have the lumpiest mattress you ever saw. Not if it's full of money. That's the last message from you, Jamie. Miss T says, my new dentist gave me a massage for 10 seconds and you were in love. Wow. Honestly, I think if I were a dentist, I would make sure that somebody was there giving you a neck massage while you're getting your teeth cleaned or while you're getting your teeth drilled. Not so many people say that the two most stressful things in life are going to the dentist and public speaking. For me, neither of those things are really problematic. But I still, whenever I'm there, I'm not comfortable, and you're sitting there like this. You're staying there for all that time. It is not comfortable at all. Lorenzo says, yes, that's the one. You got it right. Well, Lorenzo, the offer is still open if you'd like to come skydiving. It's a great thing. It's super fun. And I think this is the year. I think I met you in 2023 or maybe early 2024. I'm not sure. But 2025 is the year Lorenzo Marini and his wife jump out of an airplane. Haha. Miss T says, my dentist mentioned that because I have a small passageway. I grind my teeth. Yeah, I grind my teeth too. And I had, what do you call it? Braces when I was younger. And now I have a retainer on top and bottom. I have to wear it every night, not only to keep the teeth straight, but to prevent the grinding teeth from causing a problem. All right, well, Manbird, you say, I care about you. I just want you to be successful. You want me to be successful by telling me to quit? Bad motivational speaker there. You. Bad motivational advice. Manbird, I will not be happy if I go get a job working for somebody else and I give up my YouTube, I give up my company breakdiving, I give up my dreams. No one gets happy by giving up their dreams. I am 100% a firm believer in that. I would rather suffer as a failed entrepreneur for the rest of my life than make $500,000 working for somebody else. And maybe this is why I like working government jobs. I don't mind those. Those don't give me an ego hit. Why? Because I don't feel like I'm helping somebody else make their dream come true while my dreams get trampled on. When I was in the United States Army, I'm working for Uncle Sam. I mean, it's the government. It's not some entrepreneur living his dream and I'm helping him. No, I'm helping my country. I'm serving my country. But any time that I'm working for somebody else, eventually it starts to grind on me and feel like I cannot believe that I am sacrificing all this time that I could be spending trying to make my own business a success, whether it's with YouTube, whether it's with breakdiving or anything. Jamie says, maybe YouTube decided they weren't relevant. Jamie, messages get censored here all the time. They do not show up. I don't know if it's just a glitch in the code or if YouTube doesn't show it. But Jamie, you should know that I do not intentionally skip people's messages. Miss T says, amen, Brother Monroe. Adam says, how much is it to go skydiving? Normally it's $200. I have a special relationship, so I get like $30 off for people that go with me. So it's basically like $170, I think, or $180. So that's basically it for the first skydive. Do you have chat sent to all messages? I have no option to change that here. Let me end the poll, by the way, and we'll see what that is. 5 votes. All right, good. 60% of you like massages as often as you can. See, that's what I'm talking about. For those of you who says sort of, you need to see a psychiatrist because there's something mentally wrong with you. You know, I was in the military with all these guys, and so many of them hated the idea of getting massage. And if a guy gave a massage, they feel like, there's no way a guy's touching me. It's like, I couldn't care less. Anyone who wants hands and wants to put them on my shoulders, sign me up. Sign me up. Oh, Clover says, hi, Jamie. Hi, Monroe. Never quit. That's right. No problem. The spelling's okay, Miss T. How does your subconscious wear a teeth guard? Because very hard for me. So, Miss T, the mouth guards that they typically give you are really annoying. Go back to your dentist and ask to get Invisalign. I'll show you the retainers that I use. This is the only type that I think I could wear. They gave me one of those traditional ones, and they drive me absolutely crazy. I use these ones here. Right here. And it just goes in your mouth like this. But it is so rigid that it not only keeps your teeth straight, but it also, your teeth are still going to grind. They're going to grind like crazy, but it's just going to be rubbing against the plastic. So that's my suggestion for that. Manbert says, please forgive me. I did not try to hurt you. Manbert, you say you aspire to be like me? Then guess what? Never tell someone to give up on their dreams. Never. Never. Even if you think it is absolutely impossible for that person to succeed, don't do it. Because you could be destroying, that person could be right at the moment of quitting. And your comment saying, maybe it's time to give up, boom, they do. And for the rest of their life, they gave up on their dream because you killed it. Do not be a dream killer, people. And if you have kids, you support their dreams. Even if you don't approve and you think it's a stupid dream and they're not going to make money, you support your kids and you support your parents, you support your friends, support people's dreams. And all of you, I support all of your dreams 100%. I believe you can make them happen 100%. Let me go back to the book. Remember, we're doing Rose Reads. This book, the notes I have here that I took are from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. The next quote. This is interesting, as we're just talking here. And it relates to what Manbird said. And what he wrote is, we are not all exceptional. And it's quite possible that I am not special. And that is a complete reality. I like to think of myself as unique. I like to think of myself as special. And that I'm destined for greatness. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just deluded. But I'd rather live with this delusion that I'm meant to do something extraordinary than accept that I am normal and like everybody else. I am not part of the Lao Baixing, which means common people in Chinese. That's not me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have to believe that I am special and unique because that's what gives me the motivation to keep moving forward. Lorenzo says, this is the year. Keep doing your thing. I'm sure I'm not the only one that stops by your live streams whenever we coincide online. Lorenzo, have you been here before? Let me check channel activity. Let me see. Okay, no, this is the first live stream that you've come on. But I appreciate you stopping in, Lorenzo. Great to have you here. If ever you decide that you want to be on the super board, right up here, these are the people who have super chatted me so far this month. Jamie just did $1.99. You are always welcome. And that goes for all of you guys. And think about this. Who has the capacity to make me a successful YouTuber? You guys. You guys are the only ones Sometimes, again, it's weird. Sometimes I have 400 people on these live streams. Sometimes it's a small group, like 8. But if every single person who came onto my live stream and watches it for 2 minutes gave me $1, I would have made $50,000 already this month. That's how many views I've gotten. If everyone who does a view does $1, so I'd have $50,000. I'm not shaming any of you or anything like that. I'm just letting you know. You guys, like Manbird, if you don't super chat, you are the one keeping me from becoming a successful YouTuber. That's fine. As I always talk about, anybody who super chats is basically a producer of my channel and all of the different shows on it. And you're investing in this and hoping that by giving me a super chat, Jamie does it regularly, and Jamie's a member at $3.99 a month. Why does she do it? Because she knows that if she keeps supporting me, I'm going to keep going. And she values what my content is enough that she's willing to share some of her hard-earned money and give it to me. I mean, all of you have spent $1.99 this month somewhere on something that gave you probably very little pleasure. You can't even remember, but you bought something this week that for $1.99. Whereas I'm just saying you could take that $1.99, give it to me, and you're giving me the motivation to keep doing a live streaming for the years to come. I think it's a much better investment. Just saying. Jamie says, accurate. Never had a professional massage. Not worth getting a boyfriend to get one. That's what I said, sort of. Jamie, you have to be careful about a professional massage because it has to be done by the right person. In China, you get the best massage, and it is so hard and intense, and it costs $10 for an hour massage. Most of the places in the United States, like at Miami Beach, you pay $200 for an hour massage, and they go like this. It's just like, they're just going around in circles. And I'm thinking, why are you paying $200? But I found a place at Dolphin Mall where it's about $40 for an hour. It's pretty reasonable. And they're all from Fuzhou, China. Oh man, best massages. You need to go to somewhere where they got a traditional Chinese massage. That should be your first professional massage. Manbird says, I'm ashamed of sending the message. I'm sorry, I just care about you. You know what it's like to fail. Yeah, I know what it's like to fail much more than you do. I believe you're a lot younger than me. I believe you're a teenager. No one has experienced failure like I have. I've always talked about what I can't wait till I become a see? Sales. Lorenzo is a salesman too. He's in the financial services industry. You can't get the sale unless you ask for it, and the customers won't do what you want unless you tell them what you want them to do. That is beautiful. Lorenzo, just for that, when you come skydiving, you don't have to chip in for the gas fund. I will give you a free carpool up to Clewiston and back to Miami. You just financed a free trip. Congratulations, you just won a free trip in the Monroe Mann yellow Jeep Wrangler to sunny Clewiston, Florida, where you get to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. Ladies and gentlemen, and guess what, Lorenzo? You are now, for the first time, on the Superboard. Lorenzo M. I haven't got $20 in a long time. Look, the most I got this month is I got $10 earlier this month. But 20, guess what? Oh my gosh. Athena was the king, was the super chat king for March so far. We have a new king, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lorenzo Marini. Super chat king. Huzzah. That is beautiful. Lorenzo, thank you. I appreciate that. It was lovely to meet you and your wife at the restaurant, and that offer has always been there to go skydiving. I hope you'll take me up on it one of these days. You live right nearby. I want to say thank you sincerely. And you know what? That super chat was for Manbird. Manbird, look at that. You're telling me I'm never going to make a great living on YouTube. And as a result, that got me to start talking about super chat and support. And Lorenzo just gave $20. That's why you should not give up despite your failures and keep trying, because somebody eventually is going to support you. Someone eventually is going to say, you are worth it. You are valuable. And this is why I'm saying I'd rather live on my feet than die on my knees. Is there a chance that I never make $5,000 a month in YouTube? 100%. Absolutely. But is there a chance that I could if I keep going? Yes. Yes. And that's I mean, again, looking at the subs. Yesterday I did a live stream. I got 30 new subs. Let me just see, did we get any new subs so far? Yeah, look at that. We got 3 more subs already on this live stream. Failure is a fickle creature because in some ways it can be a motivator. In some ways it can be thank you, Jamie, for the gift. Oh, that was lovely. That was like a fruit cocktail. That was a brand new one. Thank you for that, Jamie. I almost thrive on failure. I don't know why. It destroys me. It punches me down. But here I am, 47 years old, and I am still pursuing my dreams. And I know some people will think I'm foolish, but here's the thing. One of 2 things is going to happen. Either I'm going to make it really big as a YouTuber one of these days, and everyone's going to go, whoa, he did it. I can't believe it. And I knew that he was going to do it. I could see the enthusiasm. I could see the determination. Or I don't make it. And I'm like, I tried to tell him. I tried to tell him that he was never going to make a living doing YouTube. I'd still rather die trying. Because I'm having fun right now. You know what a great feeling it was when Jamie gave me the $1.99, and then when Lorenzo came with the $20? It's like an infusion of adrenaline, like Monroe. Keep going. Just as Lorenzo said, he says, keep going, bro. I will. And Manbird, I hope you will keep going as well. All right, Manbird says, I'm not saying sorry because I want to be in your live. It's because I care about you and I aspire to be like you. Well, if you aspire to be like me, don't tell me to quit. That's kind of like a contradictory thing. Dude, I want to be so like you, Monroe, but I really think you're going down the wrong path and you should quit what you're doing. Can you explain that, Manbird? That makes no sense. Let me go back and read one of these quotes, and we'll read some more comments in a second. Again, these are notes that I took from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. And self-esteem often measures how positively people think about themselves. But a true and accurate measure of one's self-worth is how people feel about the negative aspects of themselves. Ooh, that's good, guys. I'm going to read that. It's a good one. Self-esteem often measures how positively people think about themselves. But a true and accurate measure of one's self-worth is how people feel about the negative aspects of themselves. Think about the negative aspects that you have. I mean, I can speak for my own. Some of my negative aspects are I'm impatient. I have fluctuating emotions. I have a difficulty getting close to people in relationships. I am constantly involved in many different projects. That could be a good thing. I think of it as a good thing, but it could be definitely a negative aspect. What else? I have my struggles with depression and wondering what the heck I am doing with my life. And I think that applies to many of us. And if you don't feel that way, you'll feel that way at some point. No matter what, no matter how successful you are, or how how miserable you feel, at some point you're going to come to your life and go, what am I doing? Am I on the right path? That's fine. That's good. It's good to have that introspection and self-reflection. But so think about that. Just think about, what are the top 3 negative aspects of yourself? Just take a quick moment to think about that. What are the 3 things that are the most negative aspects of you? I gave you a few of mine. Think about yours and think, how do you accept yourself despite them, and how do you work to improve them? I'm always trying to improve my impatience and get rid of it, trying to get closer to people and with relationships. Read books, guys. I'm happy to give you the little tips here and notes, but you guys should read the book. Read the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. All right, the next quote. By the way, my name is Monroe Mann, YouTube #1 live streamer. Thank you for subscribing, turning on the bell, clicking like. We got 10 likes, which is the bronze medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics. When we get to 15, we've got the silver medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics. And I just want to say, why should you subscribe? Because we do music on here, we do comedy, we do improv, special guests. By the way, Lorenzo, if you'd like to be a special guest on the channel, if you're still watching, would love you to come on, talk about finances, investments, personal finance, real estate. We can give a plug for your financial services practice. Maybe somebody will end up watching it and give you a call. You never know. Okay. Miss T says, my dentist, top front teeth together, there's grinding. I don't know about that. I don't know about the psychology of teeth grinding. Your dentist will be the better expert on that. But I do recommend, if you have grinding, you definitely want to have some type of guard in there. Clover Connor says $1.99. Wow, that's a cheap date. Ha ha. Why are the malls the best? I don't know. Malls are great. I love malls. There was the mall up in Maine that I used to go to. It's called the Mountain Valley Mall in North Conway, New Hampshire, actually. Oh, so many memories. There was a video game arcade there called Dream Machine. And I remember playing Tekken, Street Fighter, and gosh, there's so many great video games that played there. Skee-Ball, that was great fun. This was before Dave and Buster's came around. There's another super chat that just came in. Let me scroll down and find that. Jamie! Book club plea. Have to go, but thank you. Jamie, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Let me put you up on here. Here, I'm going to do this over here ×2 to conserve a little bit of space. Got to think positively. Think that we're going to get through. We got to erase the ones from February. I'll do that later. Thank you, Jamie. ×2, and another shout out to Lorenzo, the super chat king so far for the month of March with $20. He is the king. Yet, okay, let me scroll up, back up there again. And let me see. Jamie lives in the middle of corn. There's one massage place that I know of within an hour drive in any direction. Then I guess they're the best in town. And let's see. How are you today? Great, Angel. Nice to see you. Yeah, Lorenzo's got a great name. But you wrote, Miss T, Lorenzo Marino. Knocked Athena right off the throne. Yeah, that's worth celebrating. You're right, Jamie. I wish Athena were here to see him getting dethroned. Ha! Good job, Lorenzo. Adam says, you're special and unique because you are from the chosen tribe. What tribe is that? Jamie said, oh, wow, Jamie, there's something new. When you sent a gift, it shows up in the chat. It says, Jamie sent a sundae. So that YouTube finally solved that problem. That's fantastic. Mambert says, I love you listening. I'm not saying give up. I'm saying that I don't want you to fail like me. Mambert, you haven't failed. You found many ways that haven't worked. That's what they said. Thomas Edison, whenever it took him like 1,000 times before he found the way to create a filament that lit up for a light bulb. And he'd always say, I haven't failed. I found 500 ways that don't work. 600 ways that don't work. So guess what? You found some ways that don't work. Keep going. Keep going. I was telling you before, guys, I want to, once I'm a big success, write a book called something like 978 Failures. And the book is a trajectory, and it shows it shows the trajectory that resulted in success. But along the way, it'll show all of the detours that I took down roads that did not work. Because I don't think people understand how many times you need to fail sometimes before you reach success. There are some people who just magically find success. I don't know why things happen like that. But there are others of like us who have to push and push and push. Keep pushing, man bird, until you find a way that works. Let's see. Manbird says, I listen to Spy to be like how compassionate and kind and caring. Well, thank you, Manbird. I appreciate that. Now I understand you. You're very good. And Miss T says, how do you know what the best books are for you to read? I read as many books as I can. Like, you guys know this. Look, I'm reading all these books right here. I'm reading these books right here. Yep, I'm reading a book about calculus. I got all these books here. I'm reading all these books here. I'm reading more books over there. More books over there. I go to the bookstore at least maybe once every 2 months, and I'll buy $100 worth of books. On Amazon, when someone recommends a book, I usually go there and go grab it and read it. The best books, in my opinion, are psychology, self-help, business, finance, and books that are going to help you improve your life, in some way. So that's the answer, Miss T. Read whichever books are that are going to improve your life. Manbird says, you're good. Tekken was the best. The Manbird says, I've thought about what you said and hope you continue and grow your channel. Of course I am. I'm not going to quit because you told me to. And I've had far worse insults on here from people telling me that I stink and that I'm not going to get anywhere. You got to take the good with the bad. On one hand, we got awesome people like Lorenzo and Jamie who generously support me with super chats. On the other hand, we got horrible people who just talk about my receding hairline and the fact that I'm not a millionaire and all that jazz. Oh, Jamie, you've read this book. Very good book. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Jamie, thank you very much. A massage at the mall, you would go to play video games? No, Miss T, at that time, there was no massage. There were no massage parlors in malls back in the 1980s and 1990s, but there, or at least not like there were today. Now it seems every single mall has those massage chairs, massage parlors, things like that. What's up, Tensai? Great to see you. Angel has to get used to it to have a nurse at home while my brother's at work. Hey, does your nurse give you massages every day, Angel? Now that's the nurse to have. Now I'm jealous of you, Angel, that you've got a nurse. Maybe that's what Monroe needs. Angel says, Uncle, how are you? And Manbird says, am I awesome? Yes, Manbird, you're awesome. You are 100% awesome. All right, I'm going to go through a few more notes on here, and we'll call it a day on this live stream. Next note from the same book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep by Mark Manson. You will often see entitled people flip back and forth. Either they're on top of the world or the world is on top of them, depending on the day of the week or how well they're doing with their particular addiction at that moment. I was going to say that's me, but I'm more miserable than I am happy these days. So I'm not really flipping back and forth. But I can understand that. Let's go to the next one. I don't like that quote as much. There's no such thing as a personal problem. Chances are millions of other people have had that problem in the past, have it now, and are going to have it in the future. You know what? That's the one I'm going to end on for today, because let's talk about that for a little bit. I think that's fascinating. We all think that we're special. We all think that we're unique. You have to delude yourself. You have to think that you're special and unique in terms of are you likely to succeed and become an exceptional success story? You have to believe yes, or you're not going to do it. You're not going to do anything. But at the same time, with your problems, you have to recognize there are people with far bigger problems than that. Let's just say you are a landlord and you've lost one of your tenants. There's somebody else who has less money in the bank who just lost two of his tenants. Or you think that you just lost your job and you think that's terrible. Guess what? There's someone who's been out of work for 6 months and they're using credit cards to survive. You think it's terrible that your boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with you when there is someone else who's been lonely for the last 10 years and is struggling to find somebody. So that's just remember, I'm going to read that again. There's no such thing as a personal problem. Chances are millions of other people have had it in the past, have it now, or are going to have it in the future. Which is also an interesting thing. This is where self-help books come. Don't think that you're the only person with the problem. Guess what? Everybody has those problems. And you could probably write a book to help people get through that problem. Right? You guys know that I wrote this book here, Trust. How psychology in a simple 5-letter acronym will help you raise the money you need, recruit the team you want, and engender the support you crave. By the way, I'm going to be doing a series on that book as well soon too. So, because why am I doing these book reviews on everyone's books but mine? That seems counterintuitive. Why did I write that book? Because I realized I had a problem raising money for my film at first. Then I learned how to raise money for films, and people kept asking me, how did you raise the money for the film? Well, I wrote this book to explain, to tell everybody how to solve that problem. So whatever problem you have, if you can solve it, I'm on Upwork now. I think I've mentioned this on a couple of live streams. I've been doing so well that they gave me the Rising Talent badge, and they just sent me an email saying you're well on your way to becoming top-rated talent. And when you get the top-rated badge on Upwork, they start pushing you. Right now, I have to promote myself and make proposals to all the potential clients. When you get top-rated badge, clients reach out to you and say, hey, how much would you charge for this? Upwork is it's a problem-solving mill. It's a problem-solving factory. Someone who has a problem goes and puts their problem up on Upwork, and people like me can go in and say, hey, I can solve that problem for you. So the point being is, whatever problems you have, don't think of yourself as exceptional and unique. You have to think of yourself as exceptional and unique if you want to make a big dream happen, because you have to delude yourself into believing that you are better and more special than everyone else. You also need to think that you're not exceptional and unique whenever you run into difficulties. If you run into problems, realize, you know what? I am not the only person dealing with this problem. And if other people can get through it, if other people have gotten through it, if other people will get through it in the future, then I can get through it now. So whatever problems you're dealing with, you can get through those problems today without any problem. So for the 5 of you who are still watching, whatever problems you've got, take a deep breath. Do it 2 more times. One more. Boy, that feels good. Whatever problems I have, I'm not special. Other people have had them. I'm going to get through them as well. That's right. So Miss T says we're all special regardless. That's true. And Angel says my nurse gives me massages. Wow. Well, Angel, I'd like to be in your shoes right now. Miss T says, problems are universal. And says, Miss T, why did you use a piggy bank for the cover? Oh, because it's like a piggy bank. You're trying to save up money to create your big project. And Adam says, I'm one of the last 5 watching. No, we have 6, Adam. We have 6. It's amazing. Somebody else just came in here. We've got six people, guys. So, in conclusion, your problems are not that big of a deal. You're going to get through your problems. Take a few deep breaths. Go take a walk. I'm probably going to go take a walk right after I do this live stream. And work through your problems. Don't run away from them. When you work through them and you solve them, you're going to feel a wonderful sense of accomplishment. Your self-esteem will go up. You'll feel happier. It'll be lovely. Also later tonight, maybe in a half an hour or so, I'll either do another live stream of me singing, or I'm going to do a break diving study hall, but I'll probably be back online here again at some time in the near future. Flora, Adam, Miss T, Angel, Manbird, I think you guys are the last folks here. Thank you so much for being here. It was great to have you, and hope you guys have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.